So, family, the story of the transmission is way bigger than the transmission. Sometimes it is looking at the bigger stories of life, or what life is trying to teach you when you're going through what you're going through. This is where we take our time and really analyze, okay, it ain't just about when we first felt it, slipping, we should have jumped on it at the beginning. So we do admit that. And that's the same thing in our lives. Fam, soon as stuff starts happening, immediately deal with the situation. All right, family, what's up? Welcome back to the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we desire for you to take the bits of information and immediately apply them to your life for success. As always, these podcasts will be informative, encouraging, uplifting, and just designed for you to take each bit of information. And family, let's do what we need to do and have the best life we can possibly have. And what I am titling this is part 2 of what's going on with the transmission. Why is this such a fun topic to talk about? Because, fam, it ain't just about fixing a car. It's about sometimes fixing your life. There's so many similarities to repairing the life that we want to have by repairing sometimes the things that's in our lives. So we are going into our third week. I know this is being dragged out. Third week of this doggone transmission in this car. And let me tell you some of the dynamics. So the people that we took the transmission to was, suggestion from our own personal mechanic who we had that had done such a great job on our car. So there was no, trying to figure it out, no questioning. We was like, man, he know what he's talking about. So sent the sent the car over to the transmission shop. The people in the shop seemed super, super friendly, and they were. They were no cussing, fussing, hooting, and hollering. We were still trying to figure out how to get this thing fixed, but they had never fixed a 2014 RAV4, and I don't think they was pride and ego would let them, say that they couldn't fix it or had never worked on a transmission like that. So they end up taking the whole thing apart, and come to find out, now they're gonna tell us it was $11,000 to fix this thing. So we end up putting that baby on a tow truck and towing it to another shop that specialized in fixing Toyota RAV4s. And family, that's just like life. If sometimes in life you go to a therapist or a counselor or a coach or a church, a rehab, for instance, and it's not working out for you, fam, you have every right to go get you a second opinion. If you thought, dang, I just messed up, this is just terrible, fam, you can go back and get you another person that can handle your situation. Because guess what? Everybody is not ordained. Everybody is not commissioned. Everybody is not gifted to help you with your ordeal of what you're going through in life. So sometime if you go somewhere, you go to the doctor, and you don't like the opinion that they're giving you, fam, go get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that, fam, because we don't know everything. So when stuff that we're trying to accomplish don't sound right to us, it don't feel right, fam, go get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with you saying, guess what, I just ain't feeling this. And just to make sure, and the cool part about a second opinion is either that person is going to confirm that what you needed from the first person was right, or they're going to have a different twist on how to do what you need to have done. So sometimes you can go to a better specialist that's more equipped to handle your situation than the person that you went to in the first place. And so word of mouth is always the best advertisement still to this day. I'll never change my thought process on that. But it's knowing that sometimes you need to go to a second person to get an opinion. So just like with the transmission, same thing with our lives, man. Go ahead and make sure that person that's handling your situation is equipped to handle your situation. Fam, they dismantled the transmission. So when we towed the transmission over to this second shop, they couldn't even run the dialysis on the car because the whole transmission was dismantled. And as I tell you about this in transition in your life, Sometimes you don't have to dismantle your whole life to figure out what the issue is. Because what could have happened is they could have put the transmission on a machine, checked out the diagnostics, and seen exactly what it was. But because the transmission was dismantled now, we couldn't run the diagnostics to see what was wrong with the transmission. Same thing in our lives, fam. There are some times where there's an area of your life is jacked up, and you think it's the whole thing is jacked up. No, that's not always necessarily the case. So let me do case in point. So usually when I'm at my rehab and I'm talking about, the drug addiction or the alcoholism, and I usually will never mention the drugs and alcohol, because remember, that's just a symptom to the bigger problem. What it usually is, and because the drugs and alcohol has, guess what, it's put a dent in every area of their lives. They're not as close to their family members and friends and loved ones and significant others, their kids as they were. Their health is going bad, no doubt. Sometimes it's interfering with the job. It's obviously interfering with the job performance. They can't operate at their best ability. But some of them are losing jobs because of the drug addiction. And then you would just automatically assume that it's because they have a drug and alcohol problem. That's the real issue by itself. And see, we throwing in everything in that bathwater with the drugs and alcohol. And come to find out, it might be mismanagement of money, which led into the drugs and alcohol, which ruined everything else. So it wasn't a drug and alcohol problem. It was a money management problem. Sometimes when you're in toxic relationships, man, that puts so much stress on you. Guess what? It drives you to want to go do drugs and alcohol. It's not a drug and alcohol problem. It's a toxic relationship problem. So you just using a couple of those examples. Sometimes, fam, we throwing in the whole, throw out the baby with the bathwater when it's not the whole thing. It's just an area that needed to be checked. And once we check that area, fam, everything else is going to fall back into place. So sometimes don't just dismantle your whole life. Sometimes it is, what's this area that I need to fix that's going to fix the other areas? Because if my money is right, that's going to make me feel good. I ain't stressing about financial situations, which is not going to put the stress on my loved ones because we're not arguing about money, which entail it's going to help my health because I'm not stressing about my financial situation. See how that whole thing can be fixed with finances. It wasn't the drugs and alcohol. Same thing with the toxic relationship part. Fam, if I'm in great standings with my significant other, I'm just going to use my queen because that's the closest relationship to me besides God. Fam, when that relationship is going good, I come to work happy. I'm talking to people more often. I'm at ease. My health is good because when you're in a happy relationship, it keeps your health better. So it don't even have to affect your health if you're in a good relationship. It keeps your mind right because you ain't stressing about where the relationship stands and why am I in this relationship, and you're doing all that questioning. And notice, it ain't a drug and alcohol problem. If we fix the toxic relationship problem, that in turn fixes all the other stuff. So sometimes when you're getting things fixed in life, don't just throw everything out. Really sit down and analyze what's the one problem in this present moment that really needs to be dealt with that I need to handle, and that's going to fix a whole lot more areas in my life. So that's just like what was happening with the transmission. Another thing when it comes to this transmission, my wonderful brother-in-law, Sean, he's the one that helped us get our car originally. And this brother's in Florida, and he was able to find us a beautiful car that matches wonderfully for our personalities and what we need. That Toyota RAV4, super reliable, all that. Great car. Still to this day, we think it's a great car. Just having this transmission problem. And so the person that we went to help us get the car could have also been the person we went to ask for information on how to get the car fixed. Once again, when you need help in life, don't be scared to reach out and ask for somebody for some help. That is so important. You're not good at everything. That's a good feeling to be able to tell y'all that out loud. You don't have to be great at everything. Fam, I always talk about it all the time. Me and cars, I just want to get in that mug, put some gas in it, and drive it. That's all I want to do. But sometimes you need an expert or somebody that, guess what, loves doing that can give you some advice on how to get that thing fixed. And so we've incorporated our brother-in-law to ask the transmission people on how to, what's the best route to go with it now. Should we just toss the car and, sell it for parts and then take that money and use it as a down payment on another car? Should we go still get that car fixed and then not have a car payment, but just have that one, balloon payment to get that stuff out the way, to get it fixed and get it running again? So that's the cool part about having experts or people in your life that has some expertise in these areas. And that's nothing wrong with reaching out to people around you that have expertise in other areas that you don't, but you need their help. Just like with a car, you can need financial help from a financial advisor. You can need marital advice from a marriage counselor. You're trying to get in shape, family, go to the doctor and get that physical and find out from a personal trainer, what exercises you can do. And you don't even got to go to a personal trainer sometimes. Just look at a YouTube video. We got to start somewhere, getting that health in shape. If you got some mental issues that's going on, family, go get you a therapist or a counselor. If you got spiritual issues, go to a priest, pastor. Fam, we need specialists in our lives that can help us in areas that we are just straight up not gifted in. So family, the story of the transmission is way bigger than the transmission. Sometimes it is looking at the bigger stories of life, or what life is trying to teach you when you're going through what you're going through. This is where we take our time and really analyze, okay, it ain't just about when we first felt it, slipping, we should have jumped on it at the beginning. So we do admit that. And that's the same thing in our lives. Fam, soon as stuff starts happening, immediately deal with the situation. When you see that light go on in the car that says, transmission or oil leak, or the coolant is the car's heating up. Soon as you see that, there's a reason why those lights come on in your car. That means you need to deal with stuff immediately when it happens. Sometimes we wait too long. We might even want to put a piece of tape over the light because we in denial that thing need to get fixed. We scared, and that's our problem. Our fear of, man, this problem is going to be super expensive. And it might not have had to be that expensive if we didn't wait as long as we did. So that's another one of those, tidbits of, fam, soon as the light comes on, deal with the issue. If you feel some unease in your relationship, reach out to the person you're in a relationship and ask them, I feel a little tension in our relationship. What is going on? When you see the light go on, family, you got a little stomach ache. You're feeling that heartburn. Okay, do we need some heartburn medication? You feel like your finances is getting off a little bit. And it might not even be so much your finances is getting off a little bit because you're doing the same thing you've been doing, but you forgot to figure in inflation. So you have to look at that stuff like that. So when stuff is starting to slightly get off in your life, don't wait to the last minute. Deal with the issues as soon as possible. Because one of my favorite quotes is, a teaspoon of prevention is worth a pound of cure. A teaspoon of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I still believe that to this day. Do the little things in life every day to help you not have the bigger issues in life. So fam, it's amazing that this transmission is teaching us a whole lot about life. If we would just slow down and really pay attention to, okay, what's going on and what's the story behind this? What is the purpose of this happening? Because everything happens for a reason. So let's find out what that purpose is and learn that thing. And sometimes you ain't going to always figure it out. Fam, it's just, just life be happening. It's a man-made vehicle. It's going to have its problems. It ain't going to be perfect. So that stuff like that's going to happen. Cars break down. Relationships have their problems. You're always going to have some money issues every now and then. That's just how life is. You have health issues every now and then because we're not paying attention. So it's about slowing down and really isolating the situation and saying, okay, what is this trying to teach me in this moment to help me be a better person? What is that thing at the moment? Fam, life is one big old teaching lesson. God is the best teacher. Pay attention to what the teacher is trying to give you a test on so you can pass it and go to the next level. This is your boy John Bacon with another segment of Bacon Bits. Love you guys. God bless. From the Bacon Bits podcast, Thank you so much for your support, likes, and ratings. Please don't just listen, but rate me, follow me, and subscribe. This is an amazing way to offer free support. My beautiful queen and I have some books that we have written for your growth.
So the first book we have is a workbook, actually. It's called Healthy Relationships, and this is a workbook through the lens of faith. Because what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy? So this workbook is designed, it's a 12-week, it's a biblically grounded course, and every week has a few different principles. So some of our principles, some of our topics that we're covering are respect, cultivating security. And this is not just between a husband and wife, this is between parents, between siblings, between friends, between your bosses, employers. So it's really important, and everyone deserves a healthy relationship.
And also we have The Balanced Life by John Bacon. It covers how to be prosperous in your finances, relationships, your health, your mind, and your spirit. So you can pick that up on Amazon, also on audiobook. And we also have
The Unraveling, a creative healing journal, pinings, poems, prayers, and ponderings of my precarious life. I've had a testimony of, I've had 2 brain tumors and 2 brain surgeries, and I'm super grateful, but I'm still grieving the process of healing. And this is part of the process. In this book, you have devotionals, you have prayers, and you have some ponderings. And in between these pages, there's a space for you to also be prompted to paint and to create your own, or maybe you want to write something in these books. This is part of your creative healing journal that we get to walk through together.
And you guys can just head over to Kingdom Servants First. Kingdom Servants, the number 1, st.com. And you can purchase all 3 of these books. Thank you for your support, your love, and your contributions. God bless.